Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Rochelle Smith, and you're with Stamping Flare, and I'm from Melbourne in Victoria, Australia. Great to have you join me. Sorry, I'm just a tad late. Um, I just had to get some medication into me before I was coughing throughout this video. It's been one of those days, I think, with just the weather, I think, and it's just been setting me off. So I hope you're doing well, and it's good to see you here. Today is the fourth in our series of birthday card classes. So it's the last in the series. So I started back in January, and we've been going every 2 weeks. I By doing this, I've kind of realized how quickly time has gone. It's just amazing to know that we're up to number 4 in the series. So if you have missed out on any of these series, you can always go back and watch the replays either on Facebook, or if you're watching on YouTube, they're up there for you to watch and check it out. You can enjoy them and just get some inspiration. And today I am going to be sharing with you 4 cards, like I have been, birthday oriented, so which you can use for the rest of the year. Some perhaps some sketches. We will be mainly using some celebration products because it is our last few days of celebration. So if you have been following Stamping Up or following me, you would know what might know what celebration is. Celebration is our sale, which as a celebration, it is a very big sale where we have a celebration catalog. Plus, we had a special release of extra products where from our annual catalog and some from our mini catalog. So those products you can earn free with every $90 you spend. So there's no limit to how many freebies you can earn. See, the more you spend, the more free products you can earn. So if you spend $90, you will qualify for 1 product. If you spend $180, you will qualify for 2 products. So there's 2 tiers of products. So most of them at the $90 range. There are some at $180. So if you spend $180, you can choose a tier 1 or a tier 2 product of $180. So that's a bit more probably expensive products, or something that has like some paper which has more sheets in that. So it's a great time to shop. Celebration ends on the 28th of February. So that's just 6 days away. So get involved. If you haven't taken advantage, there's some great stamp sets. There's designer series paper. There's some bundles, there's some embellishments, there's masks, there's punches. There's a whole host of products you can choose from. The first product I'll be using today is this beautifully happy stamp set. This is a tier 1 product at $180. Sorry, beg your pardon, a tier 2 product. So you can choose this when you spend $180. It's a 2-step stamping stamp set, and we're going to create something with that first up, and lots of nice products there. The other thing I want to tell you about is the Stamping Up joint offer. It is what I would call upsized right now, and I would like to invite you to join my Gifted Stars team. It is a great opportunity for you to get your Stamping Up products at a discount. And if you love your craft supplies, it is a wonderful opportunity for you to get more for your money right now. There's 3 joint offers, which I will tell you about as we go along. And you can hop on my website, stampingflare.com. I've got all the details there for you. So let's just get onto the crafting, and I will explain more. It is definitely still time. And if you join now, If you join today, tomorrow you can start shopping at a discount as well. So lots of fun to be had with the joint offer. Celebration is a really good time, just gets you extra value. All right, let's just turn this around. All right. So we're going to be using the Beautifully Happy stamp set, as I said. And I've got a card with, I've done some die cutting and things to save us some time. So I've die cut a deckled rectangle. And today, when you purchase, make a purchase of $90, not only are you going to earn a celebration reward, so make a purchase through me between today and Sunday the 26th of February, you will earn a celebration reward, plus you will also get the kit to make all 4 cards in our class today. So I will include all the cardstock you need, the envelopes, the card bases, any die cutting that requires to be done. Stamp images aren't provided in a kits, but you can substitute with anything you want, or you can purchase those stamp sets. So it's you're basically getting a full class project, and if I was to in a class, these kits are around the $30 mark if you came into class and made them. So this is a great little opportunity for you to get a full class kit sent to you. So that's with a $90 order. You get the celebration reward, and you also get the tutorial bundle. You bump up your order to $150 by the 26th of Feb, and you will also get a pack. And I'm just going to show you what pack of the Milky Dots, which we'll be using in our class today, but I will provide the embellishments for you, but you will get a full pack of this when your order is $150. So firstly, on this image, I'm going to be, on this deckled rectangle, I'm going to be stamping in basic gray. I use basic gray when I don't want a really dark image. I want a more muted image, and I don't want to use tuxedo black. So just going for a more softer look. So I'm just stamping that right there. Haven't pressed down there, but that's okay. I'm going to color that in. We're going to color it in with stamping blends. Now, if you don't want to color it in, you can use the 2-step stamping method to stamp those fill-in images right there. But I'm going to color this image in Flirty Flamingo and Poppy Parade inks. It's sounding a bit ordinary, isn't it? I'm going to use this bit of cardstock as my scrap. Yeah, it's a bit bent. Okay, let's get another bit of grid paper. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. And so I'm just going to use the Flirty Flamingo first and color in the flowers. So this is light flirty flamingo. I don't think I've done this combination of flirty flamingo and poppy parade. And I've been doing the two-step stamping using the other stamp to stamp this in, but I thought I want to do some coloring on this image just to show a different way to that you can use this stamp set if you want to step it up a bit or change how it looks and give it a more detailed coloring. The image that stamps in is a more washed kind of look. So I'm just going in and giving that a bit of a rough kind of color. Please say hi if you're watching with me, and if you're watching on replay as well, say let me know. And as well on YouTube, love it if you subscribe to my channel. That really helps me and helps me keep creating and sharing. I'm picking out the flowers here, the larger ones for now, and I'll go back in and do the smaller flowers. I'll go in with the light poppy parade now. If you've got someone you'd like to see this video, please share it. I really appreciate that. And it also goes to help someone else get some ideas, and you never know what's going to inspire someone, right? Then I'm going to bring in my dark flirty flamingo and drag that color through. I would have never thought. I just gave this a try. Now I'm going to go with these smaller flowers and do the same with the light poppy parade. And I'm just going at the bottom. I have left some white space up the top in those flowers. All I'm doing is dragging that ink. And it blends that color. And now I'm going to go back in with my light flirty flamingo. I kind of miss doing that darker shading at the bottom of this little bud. I'll just do that. Now these, I want to color it in the pinks. When you stamp it, when you do the two-step stamping with the stamp set itself, it comes as one image. So you've got the little, like that filling image, so it's all part of one. So it automatically becomes green or whatever shade you do that bottom piece. But I want to do my little bud things in, and they might be meant to be green, but for this card, I thought I wanted a bit more pink. And that's the good thing when you do a bit of your own coloring, you can mess with it and do what you like and do your own creations. Right, so now for the leaves, we're going to bring in soft sea foam, very pale color, and I'm going to do quite a quick coloring with this and going in with the light. So for the joint offer, which ends with celebration, which ends on the 28th of Feb. So as I said, it's only 6 days left, not long to go. We had celebration for 2 months. So time is speeding by. You've got 3 options. Normally with our joint offer, we've got 1. And during celebration, Stampin' Up have given us 3 options. So I'm going to start with option 3 because it's going to kind of make sense when we go backwards. Option 3 is the usual price of $169, which is our regular starter kit price. But instead of getting $235 of product, you're going to get $315 of product. Product is your choice of product. So that's $80 more value than you would normally get to choose. So that's option 3. It's a product, pure product offer. And you pick whatever you want in that starter kit. You want stamps? Do you want inks? Do you want a mix? Some cardstock, glue? Any you want anything you want, you just pick. Except the host sets, you can't pick in that. But yeah, so you just select. Then option 2 is the same value of product you can choose, so $315 of product, plus you get the mini stamping card and emboss machine in white, and you pay $210. So you're getting a mini machine and the $315 of product, and you're paying $210. Option 1 is exactly the same as option 2, except the mini machine is going to be in boho blue. Now that's not on our website for purchase, but this is the color. That's the boho blue, which is an in color, which will be coming in our new catalog. It just depends on what suits you, and that's the beauty of the starter kit. It is choice for you. I'm going to bring in a blending brush, and it's my greeny one, and we're going to use soft sea foam and I'll load it up. And what we'll do is just go around the edge. So when you purchase $90 of product between now and Sunday, you will get the card kit to make these 4 cards, and that will include any ribbons, any embellishments, cardstock. I'll die cut this label for you, and you'll get the full written tutorial for it. The tutorial itself is worth $16. Normally I sell that for $16. Okay, now in this stamp set, there is this little fill-in image, and I thought we could do something a little bit fun with that. And I like creating little like backgrounds for my cards. This is just something I like to do. And I have cut the cardstock bigger than I need. And I'm just going to get my measurements up, but I don't need it right now. So we're going to use that the leaf image. And I'm going to use soft succulent. Now this is one of our outgoing colors, which will be retiring in a few weeks. So I'm going to create a border with this right along the edge of my soft seafoam card base. Now I'm using a piercing mat for my photopolymer stamps. So I'm going to hit this here. And just keep twisting it so you get like a nice border. And I'm using soft succulent. Then I'm going to redo that, going over it, and stamp off. So we stamp off and just fill in, kind of give it a shadow kind of effect. And that fills in any blank spots without overpowering. Again, we're rotating as we go. Now, I will provide all this cardstock for you. I'm going to cut this down. So you will get this size cardstock. I'm cutting it down, and I made it a little bit bigger because I wanted some pieces to embellish the inside of my card. So I want 9.5 by 13.8. And this worked for me. So I'm going to take a centimeter off each. And you can cut this down however you like. That's scrap. Now, one thing I'm going to get is, which I didn't bring with me, is this cane embossing folder. And I want to do that because I think I forgot to bring it. And I won't be but a second because that's the card we're making. And we want to emboss that background. And I'll show it to you. And that's the cane weave embossing folder. So we're going to emboss the actual card base. So when the embossing folder is sort of directional, and you've got to just be a little bit careful when you emboss it. And I will give you the embossed card base. So you don't have to worry that you don't have it or anything like that. You will get all this. So I'll have to make sure that it's straight when I emboss it for you. And then if you're doing just partial, because we only want the front, right? I just make sure I go a little bit over, just so you don't get a half a front or something. So it's there. And then we'll bring in our die cutting machine. I have to say I don't emboss card bases often, but it is a nice way to add textured background. I generally tend to emboss like a matte layer. It's really pretty, this, see how it, I could have pushed it a little more, but it's okay. It's not, it's a nice detailed embossing folder. So now we'll get to assembling this card. So I've got a matte layer of basic gray, so I'm going to be layering gray on gray, and by doing that it gives you some more depth to your card. So I think I can cut that down a bit. Let me double check this measurement. Can go, that's a bit smaller. You'll have the right measurements. I'm just mine. It's only because I cut it a little bit bigger. I write the measurements there. That was silly. Sometimes you forget what you do after. And then we're just going to glue this on. To my basic gray mat. Now, don't worry that that is not exact and things like that. That balance. You weren't worried. I was worried, but it works out in the end. I just like to make sure I overdo the stamping so that any bits are covered up. So I'm going to add some dimensionals, and I'll add one in the center. Next, I'm going to bring in my dark Poppy Parade, and I've got some petal pink ribbon. I'm going to color this, and all I want to do, petal pink would look nice as well on this. It doesn't clash or anything like that. I just want a little kind of loop there. So you don't need much. And that's all I'm going to have. It's a great to use your scraps like that. And we're just going to color our petal pink ribbon with from that's not Poppy Parade, that was Cherry Cobbler. So with the dark Poppy Parade. Okay, so I'm doing this in Poppy Parade. The previous card I did in Flirty Flamingo. So interesting to see how the difference, like what sort of a difference it makes. There will be a difference. Ones are more orangey. I'm doing both sides of the ribbon because when you twist it, it's going to be visible. But I didn't have Poppy Parade ribbon, and I wanted something to match. And neither did I have Flirty Flamingo ribbon, so that's how that came about. All right, I'm using a glue dot. You might find that when you go to attach this, it can be a little bit tricky in the sense of because of the inking. So I had to put a little bit extra double-sided tape. I use double-sided tape on my original. I'm just having a check whether this might be easier to use. And I'll reinforce it with some double-sided tape. But I find glue dots are they're strong. I don't want it too long. Let's just secure that. All right. So take that off the backs of the dimensionals. Just stick that down. Wait, I'm going to put dimensionals on this piece, and I can see a little bit of that ribbon looking at the petal pink sneaking under. So let's fix that up. I love the texture of that ribbon, so it's still, you can feel that texture of it, and that's nice. So what I've die cut is, prior to this, from the Meadow dies, I die cut a Flirty Flamingo. It's a little sentiment label. And because we're doing our birthday cards, I mean, this stamp set does have a birthday sentiment, but you really need to use it with sort of, it's a two-part, sending happy thoughts for a very happy birthday. And I just wanted one sentiment there. So I'm using the Sweetest Cherries birthday wishes, that's stamp. This has got a nice font too, just a bit of fun. And I will use Tuxedo Black for my sentiment. I thought that stands out a little bit better than the grey. You could try the grey. I just wanted it to pop a bit more. Use what you have. You can try and do it one in each color. So that's from the Meadow dies, and that's, I will give you that in your kit as well. So that's all ready to go. So embellishments, sorry, dimensionals. I'm calling them embellishments. just going to put that straight across there. I'll pop this on dimensionals. These are the best. Get yourself a pack if you haven't got one and try it. It's a good time for you if you already have dimensionals and glue to stock up, because you're going to get freebies. I always say celebration is a good time just to get some stuff and keep, because those are things you always use. Basic white cardstock. Those are basics you always use. So why not earn some free stuff while you're using it or purchasing it? Okay, so you just throw it inside. Now this is where I was using the little bits and pieces. I thought you could just paste that there. Just something a little bit different, and it didn't take much effort. We just had a tiny piece of extra cardstock, and it's a way to embellish the inside a little bit differently. Now I did have a wider piece, I'm pretty sure. I apologize for my silly cough. And when you stick it inside, you know what I mean, like the difference it makes. It just softens that gray, and I like gray. And then for the envelope, this is what I did on the previous card, but I have some bits and pieces here. So let's see what I can do. Trying to clear up my space. I could have actually used that on the inside in hindsight, but that's okay. The other thing I might do, because I've only got a very skinny little bit of, which would look okay, but let's stamp some of those leaves on the inside, which would look quite nice. So bringing back our soft succulent, and you could do that same border. So these are some alternatives for you. If you don't have a big piece of cardstock, just do the same border. Oops. Use your match. You notice whenever I don't use that, something goes wonky. I'm just going to go over that like that. Could be better, but it's okay for me at the moment. I could always cover that with DSP for another card, but for now, that's just what we're going with. So this was, okay, so I'm showing you. This was the Flirty Flamingo one, and this is the Poppy Parade. So I've just changed. So if you've got like a pink toned ribbon, you can change it up like that. Same with any of those colors. Instead of going from white to a brand new color. Okay, so that's card number 1 done, which is good. Clear this up. Hope you're enjoying that. Let me know what you think. And next one, I've got a bit of a technique for you, and you might have seen this, but sometimes and it's super easy. It's not a hard one, but it's good to be reminded of these sometimes, because sometimes there's such good techniques out there and very easy techniques, and I forget them sometimes. I go, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Gotta use that one. So I am going to be using some products, the designer series paper from the Day at the Farm. Designer series paper. We're going to be using Soy Saffron. Now, if you're not a yellow person, that's okay. Switch the colors around. Soy Saffron can be one of those colors you either like it or don't. I like it. And I just realized I didn't put my little gems on my card. So once I clean this up, well, let's put some gems on our card. We can't let our cards go without gems, huh? Especially flowery ones. Got to have some sort of gems on them. Or a ribbon. Or something, hey? Alright, so I have got our Milky Dots. So let's just finish up this card because I forgot. So I'm just going to use these little pink ones. And just add 3. So this is what you'll get a full pack of if you place an order of 150. All right, now it's done. We're done. Okay, so our next card, I have got Soy Saffron card base. So we're going all yellow. Burnish that well. I've got the Pretty Flowers embossing folder. So this is an embossing folder technique. You can do this with any embossing folder. And I've got a piece of basic white and the Soy Saffron ink pad. This is just a regular embossing folder. It's not a 3D. So I'm going to get my plates for that. So we need our number 3 plates. So to do this technique, you're going to, when you get your Stampin' Up embossing folders, you will get the logo on this side. So you'll have the side that actually is raised, or that's the side that creates the embossing. So we're going to apply ink to this side. This is like a letterpress technique, right? So basically, you're going to apply ink to the opposite side or the back side of it. So that's the easiest way to explain it. And it's going to create ink flow into the recesses of your cardstock. So I'm going to take my ink pad and just apply that ink directly to the embossing folder. Once you do this, you get addicted and you're going to do like every embossing folder in every color. So much you can do with this, but this is just like a good starter for to try this. So before I put my cardstock in there, I'm going to get my stamping card and emboss machine ready. Bring that in. And I've got my base plate, which is plate 1, and then 2 plate 3s. All right. So you take your embossing folder and place your cardstock in there. I'll just place it, and I'm just slightly off there, but that's okay. I'm not going to move it. And I'll show you how what happens. This is the reveal. You will get that where it's the white and the yellow sits inside, right? Sorry, I'm blocking your view there. The yellow sits inside. Now, if you apply the yellow onto the other side, saffron onto the other side, it'll look different. It's just a different method. You'll have the other areas yellow and the inside white. So try it. It's good to try different things. Try both ways, so you'll get different effects. So that's just you don't need to do much else. This is I've stepped it up a bit with this card, but basically this is simple card, because you do that, right? And that's how pretty is that? You don't need much else. Now I have die cut these frames. Now I've forgotten the name. It's just gone from me. Not stylish frames. Fabulous frames. I'm going to be using this. So when you die cut, use that frame. It die cuts in one hit, that and that. I don't need that now. I'm just going to be using that. I have just cut out some designer series paper. So this is the Day at the Farm designer series paper. This is free with a $90 order during celebration. Just going to pull that camera down a bit so you can see better. And it's 12 by 12 paper, really good paper. I've got a few packs myself because if you know me, you'll know I love my country sort of scenery and anything to do with country. I think I've got all the sets here. I keep them forever. So this paper is right up my alley, and I haven't played with it as much as I would have loved to. I have had so much, there's so many ideas, but ideas and my time is two different things. So all I've done is glued that to create a little frame, like a picture frame. Nice and simple so far. I'm just getting some paper to stamp on. Okay, so you bring that in there. Now we're going to be using the On the Farm bundle. So you've got stamps and dies. We're just going to use the cow on this one, not just. He's cute. Sounds like he's not important. He's important to me. We've got the cow. And let me ink him up properly. Her. Then this little flower, I'm just going to stamp that. Now, there's a whole sheet that you can die cut with the cows if you don't want to color it. If you want the flowers, there's flowers already done, printed in that designer series paper. I wanted to color my flower, so I'm stamping it. So it's just a very fine image there, just a light image. So our card's just going to be basic black stamping blend. I'm just going to color those spots in black. Use the dark. This is actually my light because, oh no, this is the dark. I was looking for my dark and I couldn't find it. I'd already pulled it out. I'm living on, like, any wonder, I don't know whether I'm standing or sitting. I'm living on like 3 hours sleep. I went to bed early as in the morning and got up very early because my daughter Cassidy and we went shopping. And I've been on the go from 7:30. Then, of course, the cat decided to think at 7 o'clock it was a good idea to one of our cats. She gets stressed because she thinks I've got late to work, but it was my day off. So she woke me up. And so I had shy of my extra half-hour sleep, so I was up. I think I'm just up on Love and Fresh Air at the moment. And some petal pink. We'll just color nose for just something a little bit different. Just use whatever colors you've got. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule of what the cow's going to be. I'm just trying to balance it out against that picture at the back. That's all I'm doing. Get my gingham ribbon, which I forgot to pull out. I mean, must have with this farm set. You can't go past it. I'm onto a few rolls of that ribbon. Now, I have got light cherry cobbler for the inside of my flower. I'm just going with, just mimicking what's there. You can go completely different. Again, if you've got real red, use real red. It's not going to make a huge difference. Then I will use Daffodil Delight. Just because it's a touch, I felt the flower needed a little bit of brightness. It's in lieu of So Saffron, which was what the color was going around. And some Old Olive. And this is just doesn't matter whether you're using light, dark. You can use watercolor pencils if that's what you've got. All right. So let's pull out our dies. We've got some die cutting. So I'll give you this. You won't get die cut. You actually, I will provide the cardstock for you to stamp on. If you get the designer series paper, and you'll have a cow in there if you wanted to use the cow that's already there, and you'll even have the flower there. But if you love these sort of images, you might want to get the bundle, and the bundle pretty much gives you, it's $90, I think, so you'll be able to choose a freebie. All right, so these are ready to go. I didn't tell you with the embossing folder, I just give it a rinse under water. You can give it a clean with the wet wipes. Just make sure it's fully clean before you use it again, because that color is right through that embossing folder. It's not going to damage it or anything. And I make sure it's completely dry and things. Right, so I cut that. That has got to be one of the easiest techniques that give you a wow factor, like a look that just goes, wow, that looks good. Right, so we've got our little cow and we've got a little flower ready to go. And I'm just going to put this straight in there before I lose it. I just love the fun colors. It's like just a bright and cherry card, this one. So now, just got the gingham ribbon, and we're just going to put this, some double-sided tape, the tear and tape, and you know how I attach my ribbon. I don't do any wrapping around. Just save your ribbon. I know we've got heaps, but it's kind of, if you don't have to, it feels like a waste when you put a whole ton at the back. If you don't need to. Just gonna put a glue dot on that because I put the tear and tape a little bit low. Now we'll glue that straight there. Got a bit of black there. Never mind. We haven't even finished card number 2. I've got 2 more cards. Talking too much. So that with dimensionals. I will put one in that center. It's more just because it's just a DSP there. You don't want it to something to go through the post and be flattened. All right, so for the sentiment, again, I'm mixing the sentiments up a bit from different stamp sets. I'm using the Enjoy the Rhythm. You've seen me do some cards with this, but I like this, just the plain old happy birthday. Just like a bit of, just keeping it simple. And I have die cut a tag from the TaylorMade tag size. I'm going to bump this sentiment up to the left. And put that there. This is cute for, I think, even anyone but kids. think just a fun, but I think anyone on a farm would love this card. So I'm going to overlap that cow just there. I'll tie a boy. This is the gingham ribbon. With a pattern like this, you tendency to think, oh, it might not go. It goes with everything, this ribbon. The black and white checks just works. It's funny how you think, oh, I don't know what to put. Oh, let's try the gingham ribbon. And it just works. And I think it's because black and white tends to draw, pull together colors and makes busy things, just simplifies it, and it just works. And checks symmetry and things like that. So just tied a bow. If you don't want to make it a bow, just want to make it more guy card, just, oops, wrong way, put a knot. I'm going to take this and just put a glue dot and stick it there, just for a little bit of difference. Okay, you can, so you're basically like making your own embellishments there with the flower. And I might stamp the flower on the inside of the card. Haven't done. Those dimensional backings, they're everywhere. All right, so then these guys, these milky dots, they come in yellow. I don't know, a shade of yellow. I don't know what yellow they are. Not sure what yellow they are, but they kind of go nice with this. And okay, so let's just do the inside of the card and an envelope to finish up. And I will color this in just to tie it all in. And this is not going to take much time, so we can easily do that. Just makes it nice. I normally would put something behind, but it's only a little bit of coloring I'm doing, so I'm not fussing. So that sometimes the color can go through that envelope at the back because of this alcohol markers. And it's just a nice little addition to have that little flower. It's cute. All right. So I'll show you the original card I did. It's a touch different. I think I colored that in Soy Saffron. And I opted out and changed it. So, and then I put the dots, the little dot there, and I've just changed it here. But what do you think of that technique? Do you like it? It's something I think anybody can do. and definitely something to try. I'm not sure if anyone's commenting. I'm not seeing any comments. If you are, I apologize. I'll probably see it. I will see it later. But so that's card number 2. Next one, we've got a nice guy one. And with this one, I want to show you what you can do with designer series paper. You know I love my designer series paper, and I tell you how good it is. And there's a lot that you can do, and everyone's got lots of designer series paper. But this is the Enjoy the Ride. Enjoy the Ride. The motorbike set in the catalog. I mean, I've only got the designer series paper. I have not got the stamp set or the bundle, and it's not because I don't like it. I have just not got it at the moment. And personally, I like all the guy sets, and sometimes you just got to make choices what you get. And I just love the paper, and I want to show you how you can work with, if you've just got paper, what you can do. So I have got, this paper comes with, I'll show you the paper first so you can have a look. I haven't pulled it out, but I think it helps to understand what you can work with. So this is the paper, right? Lots of little like checks and images you can color. These are just great for scrapbook pages too, if you want to cut them out and just cut these and make cards out of them, right? All you need to do is cut them into rectangles and go for it. It's like little garages and stops and things like that. Spanners and tracks, tire tracks. Now, this has baffled me because I probably don't know much about bikes as to what this image is. If someone can explain to me, please explain the roses thing. But all in all, it's a great little set of paper. So for guys. So I've got a crumb cake card base. I have got some of the designer series paper. So you're going to get all this. I have got some vellum. This is the layering vellums. And I picked this because it's got like road, like a map at the back. Some basic black card stock. Oh, I forgot a piece of, I'll have to cut that. I've got a bike and I'm going to finish fussy cutting that because I didn't do that. And just a label. And you'll get this bike. I'm not going to fussy cut it for you. You'll have to do that. Sorry. But it's easy. And this is what you say. You're going to get a heap of bikes. If you buy a pack of that designer series paper, you'll get a whole lot of bikes. Now, of course, if you buy the bundle, I'm not saying don't buy the bundle. You buy the bundle. It'll help you. You can do lots of it. But if you don't have it, you can do lots with the designer series paper too. So I will go ahead and finish cutting this off. Just leave I'm leaving a little bit of a border sometimes. Right, so that's ready to go. The only other thing I did not do is cut a piece of this paper, which was this strippy paper. the one with the checks. Just like reminds me of the racing track thing. So we're going to have a little bit of that. And I'm going to cut a banner into that. So just cut in the center and bring the sides up. Create your banner. You can also use your banner punch if you've got one. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is tear this paper, all right? So to get a nice sort of a white edge, tear towards you. Can you see what I'm doing? Maybe not. Sorry, I'm moving the camera a bit. Right, so tear towards you. Then you're going to get that nice sort of that white edge. And I want it a bit rugged sort of look. Take your piece of vellum and I'm going to glue that to that. You've got extra there and I'll cut that off. And we're going to glue that to our basic black cardstock. Now don't put glue on the bottom of your vellum. I'm just putting it on the bit that gets covered up by my designer series paper. So the glue will show. I'm just going to stick that down there. Glue that to your card base. So this is a fairly quick card to come together. Just going to trim that. My vellum is a bit big. And the next thing I want to put that across. I'm going to trim that down a bit. I don't need all of it. And adding these layers just gives you some interest and texture because this paper has texture on it as well. No one, sorry, I'm just go straight in there. I meant to do something to this, which I haven't, but we can still do it before I stuck that piece of black cardstock down. And we'll just go with it and do what we can. So I've got my embossing additions toolkit and some copper embossing powder. The copper is part of our metallics range. And I'm going to be using the sentiment from the Let's Set sale. Now, this one is from our annual catalog. You may not have used it in a while, or you may have. I haven't pulled it out in a while. And I thought, oh, this is a good time to pull it out because it's got Hope It's Your Best Day Ever. Great birthday card sentiment. And I'm going to stamp it in black on my crumb cake label. You'll get this label in your kit. It's cut from the All That Dies, from the He's the Man suite. And I'm going to bring in my piercing mat to make sure I get a nice image. I've done that in black. All right. Okay. So now we're going to bring in the Versamark ink pad, which is our gluey little ink pad. Got my sentiment. I'm going to take in my Versamark ink pad. I'm just going to drag it like that along the edges. It's very hard to see. It's not, there's no accuracy there. Just do what you can, and then you can redo it because it's just one of those higgledy-piggledy kind of stuff. And it's going to give you a very rusty kind of look. And I probably would have been best to have run my embossing buddy on it. And I forget about it sometimes. Especially because I wasn't stamping a sentiment, was I? But it helps for it not to stick on the sentiment. And I'll probably go over that again. Just see. I'll see how that heats up. Take that away. Bring my heat gun and heat it on setting 2. See how it's giving that bit of a rusty kind of look, and to go with my kind of motorbikes, and I just felt it was nice in the copper. You could do it in silver. That'll work too. Nice. But I'm going to run that again. Just make sure everything's heated up before you do it. So you're going to pull off your embossing powder into your ink pad. It'll still work. It's just... All right. So let's go again with this. So you can dip it like that. And then if you feel that it's just a little bit too much, just go in and with your brush, or take your big tool and take some excess off. because sometimes it's too straight or something, so I just like it to be a bit rough. Then I've got a little brush which I bring in. This is just an old paintbrush I had. Okay, let's heat that again. I'm just going to move my tweezers. Oops. That's the embossing. It's off the tweezers. There must have been something on my tweezer which has melted. And I'm going to leave it. Sometimes it does come off eventually. But so don't be like me and leave your stuff on the tweezers because it melts. See that? There would have been some silver or something like that. I'm going to go with that just for sake of time. If not, I would probably redo it, and I might redo that off camera, but just for the sake of time, I'll get to it, and I'll show you a proper one I've done. Pull out all the bits here with your brush so that it doesn't get into your silver or your white. I even sometimes go over it with a tissue just to make sure it's all clean. And give that a proper clean after. Okay, now, okay, so that was that. Now the next thing I'm going to do, and I'll show you this. I still need the copper, and I'm cleaning it very sillily. I just want to do that little section there. And I stuck it down very sillily. Sillily, which is a perfectly good word. And I'm going to try and mask that up with my masking tape, with my Post-it notes. And do the same thing I did on that label. So same kind of thing. We're just going to go with our Versamark. And I'm just dragging it. Just a bit different this way because I can't drag it much. And we'll do the copper again. And I just like that it gives a nice little edging. So you won't do this. You're going to do it before you stick it down, which will be much easier. But using Post-it notes to mask things off does help. Doesn't it look nice? The copper on that. It just brings a different look. and just the speckles and things. It just adds to that interest of that card. And yes, you can see my the way my ink pad is because how I was doing it, but that's all right. I don't think it matters too much. So now we'll put our little, I'm not going to put the sentiment, and I will show you what I've done because I would have to fix that sentiment. So I'm going to put the bike there. Dimensionals. And again, just a teeny weeny dimensional. I cut it up just on that handlebar, I think, just so it doesn't bend. Those sort of little things tend to bend and crease, and I don't like that. And so what I would do is that, put that on a dimensional and put that in there. So I will tuck that label in after when I'm ready and I have done a proper job on that. So let's put some of these pale papaya maybe. Oh no, I think it looks like soy saffron actually. And even though we've got orange, it's in those tones, and I thought the little yellow ones go. So this is the one I did earlier. And see how I was able to control that. I just did a teeny weeny bit. You may like with a bit more grungy, stronger look of that copper. And you can do that as much as you like. But if you'll have more control before you stick it down. And I, of course, forgot and I stuck it down. But let's... I haven't decorated that inside of the card. I will probably put some... Let's put some designer series paper for that card. You could, if you are feeling up to it, you could fussy cut another, perhaps another motorbike. If you have the stamp set, you could stamp one of those motorbikes. Whatever you have, use it, and you can work with it. And I might use some of that orange just to and with this I went with very vanilla because the paper on that design series paper is actually the backing is very vanilla. And you know what, I don't use very vanilla much. I don't know if you saw my card last week when I said I don't use very vanilla much, but when you've got the actual paper that is very vanilla, just follow that and use up your envelopes. We've got lovely envelopes which match, so use that up. So, and then just put a strip on the inside. So that's that card. That's the third card. We've got one more to go. And for this one, we are, oh, you got a bit quicker there, sorry. We're using the Share a Milkshake bundle. We did one last week, right? With the Share a Milkshake, and you're going to get that tutorial. I've written it, and it's just been hectic, so I have done that. And it's ready to go. Plus, you're going to get another one. But it's so cute. There's so much fun to had with that bundle. We are going with a chocolate. Chocolate? Where did we get chocolate from? It looks like chocolate. We used to have a color called chocolate chip many years ago. This is not chocolate chip. This is early espresso. They're funny. Like, what's in your head? Chocolate chip used to be like a lighter tone. Okay. So, I have got a basic white card mat. And I've, of course, got a Share a Milkshake stamp set. I am going to be using the Celebrate stamp. I'm going to be bringing in my stamp apparatus. Right. Who's got a stamp apparatus? Have you got a stamp apparatus which you use? It is our stamp positioning tool. Very, very handy. And this is one of the tech things. Apart from being able to restamp things, this is a technique that you can use with this. It's called the hinge step technique. And it helps you be able to create like a pattern, a repeated pattern with even spacing. Thanks to this tool. So I'm going to be using Sweet Sorbet. So you get 2 plates with the stamp apparatus. I'm just using one. Just place this under any sort of stamp set or something under, just to help you with your inking. It's not, doesn't do anything else. Pick up your stamp. And ink up. So I'm stamping the Celebrate. Then I'm going to move it down one of the hinges down. I'm going to move it and restamp. So then I move the next one down. Ink it up. Restamp. The spacing is going to be even. Lift it up. Put it in the next hinge. Ink it up. Restamp. You're not moving the stamp at all. It's already placed for you. Ink it up. Restamp. And I missed that. I can go again. My nice border is all done. So that's the hinge step technique with the stamp apparatus. Lots more you can do with the stamp apparatus. Then just bring in your chamois, clean it up, and you can put your stamp away. This just gives it stability by just having it under there, so that you can ink it up easy. I take that out of there. I don't need that anymore. So the milkshake bundle comes with a stamp set and a die set. So the dies operate with a die cutting machine. And these would fit in your mini. Next, I'm going to take in these little hearts. And We're going to stamp them in early espresso. So I'm just going to stamp it in between. I'm going to add a couple extra because I stuffed that up there. And just to balance out. And make it look like I intended to stuff it up, I'll just stamp a few extra. All right, now give me a sec. I'm just going to get a glass of water, which I had handy because I knew I'd be like this. And then you get the tickle in your throat. It just like doesn't go away. Now, we're going to stamp this image. Now this comes, the Stampin' Up do try to make it easy for us. Those are kind of a pair or triplet. So that goes with that. And that goes with that. So it make it easy for you, or for us, I should say, not just for you. So we'll take those three little, they're teeny weeny, aren't they? Okay, so I'm going to stamp the detailed image. So one's an outline, or not, one's a fill-in image. So that's the full bowl or the full sundae bowl. And this kind of gives you a detail. I'm finding with this particular stamp set, by stamping the actual detail first is easier. And then stamping in the fill-in image. So sometimes with certain stamps, stamping the fill-in image sometimes works better. You just need to work it out. So we'll go with, so I'm stamping this in full strength. Then give this a clean. Then I'm going to stamp this off first. So that means I'm going to stamp the main or on a scrap piece of paper. I'll take the first stamping off, and then I'm going to stamp over this image. So just align it. So you're going to get like a detail there. So it's like a shadow kind of look. Now for the ice cream, I'm using sweet sorbet again, but sweet sorbet is quite a bright color, a dark color. So I wanted a more muted, like a strawberry color. So I'm going to stamp off twice to get a shading I like. So when you get an ink pad, you basically you're not just getting one color. So if you're starting out in stamping, always think you don't have to have heaps of colors, anything like that. One ink pad is going to give you one shade there, if you stamp correctly. One shade's there, a second shade there, and a lighter shade. So basically you can get three colors in one. If you want shading. So that's bordering a red and that's bordering a pink. So value wise, just pick and what you need. And same if you choose the starter kit, you go, what do I choose first? How do I pick? I've got so much I want. Pick what you need at the start and then go from there. So I've done at that's the third stamping for a very pale ice cream. So there's die cuts for that. So I'll get my dies. So I have already got my washi there. This bundle is very cute. I think it's one of those ones that just make you happy. Maybe because it's just ice cream. I don't know. I have to say I don't eat a lot of ice cream. I'm not much of a sweets person. Well, no, I lie. I like things like, I like proper desserts like pavlova or something. Is it fancy? It's not fancy. I don't know. It's a bit different. And I'm not really like ice cream and chocolate person. So chocolate can sit here for days and doesn't get eaten because if no one else eats it. All right, let's see this one. And if your machine makes that noise, it's okay. It's not broken. So we've got that. I'll show that to you so you know what I've cut. It's a slightly off on the side, but it'll work. Next, I am going to cut this waffle cone. Which is this. But it's fun. It's a nice fun little element in this die set. And it's great to create like a 3D look on your card. So essentially, that's what comes through when you die cut it. And it's got score lines, right? So you fold it over and fold it over. And then you've got like it's an ice cream cone, right? So then you can have it like curl it over. So then it's really cute. I've seen people do flowers coming out of that. You could even have hearts coming out of that. Lots of ways to use that. So I'm not going to use it like that. I'm going to cut this and just use the center bit. So we've got this piece, and I've got a bit of, this is the gingham, country gingham designer series paper. I couldn't decide, like I just like, oh, the mint macaron, just I wanted to use it, and but then I thought I did something in mint macaron with this stamp set last week, and I couldn't do it 2 weeks running, so I thought I'd change it up. So I did the sweet sorbet side. The country gingham comes in like different checks, so you can see 2 different styles there. It's in balmy blue, petal pink, sweet sorbet, and mint macaron. In your kit, when I give you this, when you order his 90 this week, before, like when you order by Sunday, you'll get one of the sheets, so some sort of check from that pack in the sweet sorbet. Now we've got this little guy. I'm going to stick that there. So I'm using it like a accent piece. So roughly, I'm eyeballing that. I'm going to stick that there. Where are my dimensionals? Yeah, they are. All right, so we've got our ice cream. Now, if you wanted to put a cherry on there, you can do that. There's different little accents you can add onto your ice cream. You can put a little spoon in there, but I didn't. Just very simple, this card, and it's just, I like the simplicity and the cuteness of it. Just the checks and the fun hearts, and all that. Got a crumb cake matte layer. So that coordinates with my little crumb cake bowl of ice cream. You could do a bowl of chocolate mousse or something, I don't know. Actually, I prefer chocolate mousse to ice cream. That'd be my feeling. And then I'm going to layer that onto my early espresso. So I'm drawing my like colors together with the early espresso hearts. How cute is that? I love it. It's such a cute bundle. That little coin that falls over is just really cute. And all the detail on it is just, there's so much you can do with that. You could sponge it with color, like add distressed color on it, just to give it some added interest. So I've got some ribbon. Now this is a 4 suede ribbon in early espresso. And I'm trying to think which suite this was from. It was from last year, and I can't remember. If anyone can remember, tell me. It was a guy one, obviously. No, was it? Was it the world one. The one with the world, I think. I think that's what it was from. So it's been here a while. It's for suede. It's really nice. And I thought with the early espresso around, it's nice. So I'm just going to add that there just for a bit of something. And to finish off, we will add these pink dots. You can color these in to in sweet sorbet if you wanted to, but I thought the blend was fine. Just a little bit of light pink. It might be even freesia or something. But a lot of the time, our embellishments just kind of blend in with the colors and they're working fine. So to finish off, let's add some little early espresso hearts. And I'm going to try this. I don't know what it's going to... I haven't done this before, so I'm going to just see what it'll look like. I'm taking sweet sorbet. I think it needs something on that corner. Just to add a bit of color there so it's not so brown. That might be all right. Just a little bit of pink. You've got to experiment sometimes. You just don't know. So let's do my little experiment again because I'm happy with how it turned out. So we're going to stamp. Oops, you don't do that. I just had sweet sorbet and then I went into early espresso ink. So we have sweet sorbet ink. You can't see me inking up. I'm going to stamp it off twice like I did for the ice cream. And I'm just, so you can't really tell that it's an ice cream. And then I'm going to stamp the hearts in early espresso. Our cards are done. Have you got a favorite? Did you like any particular bundle that I showcased? So I thought the ice cream one, obviously I didn't do it. In my head, I thought I had used all Celebration products. So in this one I did as a sample, I just used some strips of designer series paper there. So there's two ways to do the inside of that card. So let's go over what we did today. So the last one we did was the Celebrate with the milkshake bundle. Then I'm going to show you the one that I had completed because I didn't have the sentiment on the one I did today. The Enjoy the Journey designer series paper. So I was okay. I did. So there were a couple without Celebration products, but my little technique was to just use some Versamark on that and use some copper embossing powder just to add some embellishing there. Then we had our little farm one with the letterpress technique on the embossing folder where we put ink on one side of the embossing folder on the deboss side and ran it through the embossing machine and that created that beautiful background using the pretty flowers embossing folder, and I just loved the detail on that. You could stop right there without adding all the cow, yeah, and the flower if you want. It's just keep it simple, and really that background is enough. The first one we did was this one with the beautifully happy stamp set, and we colored that in and did a little bit of technique with that about stamping on borders, stamping a border with a image from your stamp set. I dimensional backing there, and some coloring of ribbon. So I hope you have found that helpful and you have found something that you can use, just maybe with some products you have, or maybe you have some of these products that you can use. Perhaps you would like to place an order, and your orders really help me. It helps me continue doing what I love to do, and that's share my love of crafting with you. So I really appreciate when you place an order with me. Plus, you're going to get a freebie right now during celebration with a free product when you order of $90. Plus, you're going to get all these card kits to make these 4 cards, PDF tutorial. You're going to get a tutorial bundle with 44 tutorial PDFs sent to you when you shop with me before Sunday, and bump up your order to 150, and you're going to get a full pack of this as well. So I'm happy to help you with that. If you need a hand with placing that order, I'd love to help you select any product if you need a hand with that. If you have any questions about Stampin' Up or how to get into paper crafting, just let me know and give me a call. You can get my number on my website, or you can email me, whatever works for you. Thanks so much for joining me. That was the last of my classes. If you missed any, make sure you catch them or on YouTube or on Facebook. Subscribe to my newsletter for my weekly tutorials. And I look forward to seeing you. I will probably be doing a class this weekend with the end of celebration. I want to share a few more ideas with you. So watch out for that as well. And then I'll catch up with you next Wednesday. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of the week and good night. Bye-bye.